Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Let's take a look at our top headlines of the hour. The latest on a murder suspect's court appearance, why a Pensacola police officer was arrested, and Governor Ivey signs a new bill into law. Let's get started.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. My name is Gracie King, and I am one of the digital content producers here at WKRG News 5. I'm filling in today. Happy to be here. Happy Friday, everybody. So let's go ahead and take a look at our top stories of the hour. Starting at number 5, Alabama's governor signs a bill requiring English proficiency from truck drivers in the state. Under the new law, commercial truck drivers are required to read, write, and speak English well enough to understand law enforcement and road signage. It also requires drivers to have a valid U.S. work authorization and makes presenting foreign commercial driver's licenses during traffic stops a criminal offense. The law takes effect in October. At number 4, mothers in Foley now have a place to safely and anonymously surrender babies they're unable to care for. A baby box is now open in Foley at Fire Station number 1. Babies up to 45 days old can be left in the box, and they will be taken to a hospital before being put up for adoption. At number 3, the longest-standing member of the Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association was laid to rest today in Mobile and honored with a second-line procession. They honor his lifelong legacy and his dedication to the Mobile community. Mr. Tom Withers, 91-year-old Mobile native, was known to his close friends as Showtime, a big man with a big heart for Mobile and Mardi Gras. Family and friends reminisce, sharing stories of MAMGA's longest-standing member gathering at the Episcopal Church of the Good Shepherd on Friday, where he attended for many years. He had a successful career as an educator and made history as the first black automobile salesman in Mobile at Robertson Brothers Lincoln Mercury, as an original board member of the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. But many will remember him most for his love of Carnival and MAMGA, where his legacy will live on. At number 2, a Pensacola police officer was arrested, accused of having sex without telling his partner that he's HIV positive. 32-year-old Pierce Cotton was taken into custody today for violating a Florida statute that makes it unlawful for a person who knowingly has a sexually transmissible disease to have intercourse without informing their partner. Cotton made bond and was placed on administrative leave. And at number 1, the murder weapon is still missing after a family was brutally killed in Mobile County, then buried in a shallow grave in Baldwin County. We just learned that information as the man accused in the murder faced a judge. Hector Guerra pleaded not guilty to capital murder, corpse abuse, and other charges. Investigators say the 3 victims, 40-year-old Aurelia Chalk, her 17-year-old daughter New York Chalk, and her 2-year-old son Anthony Garcia, suffered sharp force trauma. Authorities say an edged weapon was used, but they have not found the weapon, and they don't know exactly what type it is. District Attorney Keith Blackwood describes the killings as gruesome and horrific. That is a really sad story coming out of here of Mobile County. I really thought that they were going to be found alive, but just prayers for the family and all the people that are working this case. It's been really difficult to follow along with it, but thank you for sticking with me through this News 5 Now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our question of the day. Now, our question of the day asked, how do you take your coffee or your tea? I don't like the taste of coffee, but I love the smell of coffee. So I'm more of a tea girl. I personally just like, my chai tea with almond milk, maybe a little extra something like some vanilla syrup or something like that. But let's see what you guys have to say. Jeannie Miller says, I like my coffee like I like my men, weak and bitter. She says, tea iced unsweetened with lemon, coffee cold brew with vanilla creamer only. Becky Wilkie says, no coffee, no way ever. Tea hot or cold with sugar and lemon. And then Wilson Bedingfield says, sweet tea but straight black coffee. Love that. It's always interesting to hear how people take their coffee, just because it's always like just the smallest little bit of differences really makes a difference. So interesting to see those. If you want to check those out, head on over to our Facebook page, WKRG News 5. But for now, let's go ahead and head on over to our poll results. Our poll asked, did your home receive damage during Wednesday's storms? This is the answer we wanted to see. 100% of you said no. That is awesome. We are so thankful that there weren't any major happenings with the storm. There was a little bit of damage here and there, but nothing too crazy. No one, from what we know, was seriously injured. So that is absolutely wonderful to hear. Now, we are going to move on to today's poll and question of the day. So our question of the day asked, what are your thoughts on drones being used to deploy first aid measures? In North Carolina, drones are actually being used to facilitate first aid, delivering AED machines. Sorry, I couldn't remember the word. AED machines for people undergoing cardiac arrest. So I thought that was really interesting. We want to hear what you guys have to think about it. And then our poll of the day, do you plan to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? That's coming up on the 17th, this Tuesday. So we want to know if you're celebrating, and if you are, how are you celebrating? Anyways, guys, that is all I've got for you today. Be sure to tune in to News 5 at 6 with Mr. Peter Albrecht and Miss Roseanne Haven. They're going to give you all the updates to today's stories. So tune in at 6, and happy Friday, guys. Hopefully, I will see you soon. Bye.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.